Have you ever found yourself in that frustrating cycle where you're working harder than ever, putting in the hours, trying to save, yet it feels like you're constantly just treading water financially? You look around, and some people just seem to effortlessly achieve wealth, almost as if they were born with a secret map, while for many of us, it feels like a relentless treadmill.
It's an incredibly common and often disheartening feeling, isn't it? That disconnect between effort and financial outcome can be truly perplexing.
Yeah.
We're taught that hard work and a good education are the keys, but for a significant number of people, that just doesn't seem to unlock the doors to lasting financial security.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're going to unpack today. Our deep dive is into a book that challenges so much of what we think we know about money and success, Rich Habits, Poor Habits by Tom Corley and Michael Yardney. Now, if you're expecting a technical guide to stock market trends or, the latest real estate tips, you're in for a surprise. This book goes far beyond just financial mechanics.
What's truly fascinating about their approach is the core argument. Building wealth isn't primarily about market timing or even how much money initially passes through your hands.
Right.
Instead, it's fundamentally about your mindset, your daily behaviors, and the deeply ingrained habits you cultivate.
Habits. Yeah.
These authors contend that these are the true differentiators, the invisible levers that separate those who achieve lasting financial success from those who consistently struggle.
So our mission for you today is to journey through the foundational insights of this book. We're going to distill decades of research and real-world experience, moving from the overarching principles right down to the surprising, often overlooked, daily actions that truly transform financial destinies.
Yeah, get ready.
Get ready, because this perspective might just offer those aha moments that reframe everything you thought you knew about money, success, and even personal happiness.
To really set the stage, the authors open with an unsettling truth that's difficult to ignore. Their research, and indeed countless other studies, consistently show that the rich are getting richer.
We hear that phrase a lot.
It's a phrase we hear often, but its implications are profound. Meanwhile, the middle class often finds themselves working harder, often taking on multiple jobs, only to find they have less discretionary income and fewer opportunities for upward mobility.
Right. They're squeezed.
Exactly. And perhaps most concerning, the number of individuals living in poverty is steadily increasing, a growing segment of society that often receives insufficient attention. This widening financial chasm is not just an economic issue, it's a societal one.
And it really forces us to question that deeply ingrained, almost gospel conventional wisdom, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
From a young age, many of us are told that a good education, hard work, and a steady job are all you need to be set for life. But Corley and Yardney are quite direct.
Yeah.
They argue this is simply not true if your goal is to achieve significant wealth, not just comfortable living.
Not just getting by.
They posit that those who have truly built substantial wealth in business, entrepreneurship, and investing operate on a different set of principles, a different foundation, which they call rich habits.
This immediately raises the crucial question. If the traditional advice isn't sufficient for significant wealth, then what is the secret? The book truly begins to answer this through Tom Corley's accidental, yet ultimately groundbreaking journey into what would become the Rich Habits study.
Oh, yeah.
It started, as many profound discoveries do, with a very practical, almost mundane problem.
Oh, that story about his struggling client is just so incredibly relatable, and it's where everything clicked for him. Tom, a financial planner, right?
Right.
He had this particular client whose business was outwardly thriving, growing year after year, yet the client himself was constantly struggling to make ends meet. Every single payroll period was a scramble, a stressful dance of balancing accounts.
Sounds exhausting.
Totally. Finally, in sheer desperation, the client turned to Tom and asked, "What on earth am I doing wrong? My business is growing, but I'm constantly broke." Tom, being the meticulous professional he is, dove deep into the business financials.
Yeah, you crunch the numbers.
He analyzed everything: expenses, labor rates, industry comparative data, profit margins. He even reached out to a rich peer in the same industry, a competitor with similar revenues and demographics, just to get a benchmark.
And after all that painstaking, detailed financial analysis, the only significant variable he could pinpoint was what he eventually termed the $40,000 difference.
Yeah, just one thing.
Well, one main thing he could really nail down. His struggling client was taking a salary that was roughly $40,000 more per year than his rich peer, who operated a very similar business.
Huh. So taking more money was the problem.
Seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
When Tom presented this stark reality to his client, the reaction was predictably uncomfortable. They sat in silence, the air thick with unspoken tension.
Awkward. Here's where it gets really interesting, and it's a moment that fundamentally changed Tom Corley's career and led to this entire body of work.
The epiphany moment.
Exactly. To break that awkward silence, Tom, just making conversation, casually asked his client what he did for fun. And that's when the client leaned in conspiratorially, looked around to make sure no one else was listening, and confessed to a $500 weekly Wednesday night habit. The book doesn't specify the details, but you can imagine. $500 every single Wednesday night.
Oof, that adds up fast.
The client sheepishly admitted he'd picked up this habit about 10 years prior, following a difficult divorce.
Wow. Okay, when you do the quick math on that, the revelation is truly profound. $500 a week over 10 years. That amounts to approximately $25,000 a year, which totals a staggering $350,000 over the decade.
$350,000.
What was even more shocking to Tom was that this precise amount, $350,000, was almost exactly the sum his client owed on his company's line of credit, which the bank had just shut down, plunging him into a deeper financial crisis.
No way. It matched exactly.
Almost exactly. And that additional $40,000 in salary is being siphoned off, essentially borrowed from his own company, solely to fund this destructive weekly habit.
Unbelievable.
That one seemingly small, consistent behavior, compounded over time, was the invisible hand leading him directly towards bankruptcy.
That's the insidious devil in the details that Tom stumbled upon. That powerful epiphany that financial success and failure often aren't about grand decisions, but hide in these seemingly insignificant, consistent behaviors, sparked his rigorous rich habits research.
Right. It wasn't just the business finances. It was personal habits bleeding over.
So he developed what he called his 20 questions list, which was actually a comprehensive set of 144 detailed questions grouped into 20 categories.
144 questions. That's thorough.
Over a painstaking 5-year period, he meticulously interviewed 233 rich individuals, 177 of whom were self-made millionaires, and 128 poor individuals.
Yeah.
That's an astonishing total of 51,984 questions.
Wow.
His objective was clear: to uncover the precise patterns of behavior and mindset that distinguished the wealthy from those who perpetually struggled.
And this isn't merely academic theory. Michael Yardney, the co-author, brings an immense amount of practical, boots-on-the-ground authority to this work. He's far from being just a theoretician.
Yeah, he's lived it.
Michael purchased his very first investment property back in the early 1970s for a modest $18,000. From that humble beginning, turning a small $2,000 personal loan into seed capital, he diligently built a multi-million-dollar property portfolio, all in his spare time.
Incredible. From $2,000.
Today, he stands as the CEO of the Metropole Group, a company that has overseen the acquisition, sale, and management of billions in property assets. He's also a best-selling author. His property blog has consistently been voted the #1 globally for 5 consecutive years, attracting 2.5 million readers.
Wow, #1 globally.
And his podcast boasts over 2 million downloads. He's a living testament to the principles laid out in this book.
What makes Michael's insights even more compelling is his own personal origin story. He wasn't born into wealth. He grew up in a struggling working-class family in Melbourne.
Right, a very different start.
He vividly recalls the tension in his childhood home, with his parents arguing over bills at the end of each month, having to make difficult choices about who would get paid and who wouldn't. He remembers them painstakingly trying to save just a few shillings each week for Christmas.
Shillings. That dates it.
A clear illustration of their perpetual financial insecurity.
The contrast with his friend's parents was striking and deeply influential. While Michael's parents were employees, his father, he notes, was too afraid to take the perceived risk of running his own business. Almost all of his friends' parents owned their own businesses and were considerably wealthier.
So he saw the difference firsthand.
He vividly remembers the vastly different advice he received. His friends' parents would tell them, if you want to get on in Australia, you need to go into business and earn money, which you should then invest in property. That's the true path to real wealth. Business and property.
His own parents, on the other hand, offered the more traditional counsel. Get a secure job, buy a house, and pay it off. 2 very different blueprints for life.
Very different mindsets about risk and wealth creation.
Absolutely.
And his father's financial plan paints such a poignant picture. Every Saturday, he'd sit at the kitchen table, smoking cigarettes, drinking black coffee, and meticulously daydreaming about how he'd spend his lottery winnings.
Oh, the lottery dream.
Of course, the big jackpot never materialized. He'd only win small prizes, just enough to keep him buying more tickets. As Michael dryly puts it, the lottery is not a financial plan.
No, it's a tax on hope, really. It was, sadly, the only way his father could conceive of escaping the financial rat race he was trapped in.
That's sad, but telling.
This anecdote leads Michael to emphasize a crucial point. You can often glean more valuable lessons from someone who went bankrupt than from a Bill Gates.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because, as he points out with a wry smile, it's far more common to make a mistake than it is to be a genius.
True enough. He stresses that we should devote more energy to avoiding bad money decisions than to trying to make perfect ones. He likens it to amateur tennis, where 80% of points are lost due to unforced errors, whereas in professional tennis, 80% of points are won.
Focus on not losing first.
His advice is simple. Beginners, and indeed everyone, should first focus on not making the critical mistakes. Avoid the big screw-ups.
So if they're already financially successful, it's a fair question to ask. Why would Michael and Tom even bother writing a book to help others get rich? Doesn't that just create more competition?
It's a question Michael admits is typically posed by someone operating from a scarcity mindset.
The pie is finite thinking.
Exactly. His answer, however, reflects a profound abundance mindset. He genuinely enjoys writing about the psychology of success, a field he's passionately studied for 35 years. He finds immense enjoyment and satisfaction in sharing his knowledge and helping future generations, including his own children and grandchildren.
That makes sense, giving back.
He also dedicates significant time and resources to charity. He states that while these activities are often the least financially profitable of what he does, they are unequivocally the most rewarding. It's about contribution and legacy, not just accumulation.
Okay, so connecting all these stories and insights, what's the big picture? The core framework?
If we connect all these individual stories and insights to the bigger picture, the authors contend that achieving lasting wealth fundamentally comes down to mastering three core pillars. First, it's about your mindset, your deeply held thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs about wealth.
The internal stuff.
There's a distinct way of thinking that effectively makes you magnetic to wealth, and conversely, a mindset that can inadvertently repel it. However, they are quick to caution, you can't simply think and grow rich without action.
Right. Action is key. And that leads us to the second pillar, behaviors. The rich, they assert, do certain things in a certain way that consistently attracts money and opportunity into their lives.
These are the practical daily actions they call the rich habits.
It's not just what they invest in, like shares or real estate, but how they approach these activities, a fundamentally different methodology than most people.
Exactly. And finally, the third pillar is knowledge developing true financial fluency and a deep understanding of how money genuinely works, how it grows, and how to make it work for you.
Mindset, behaviors, knowledge. The three pillars.
And a critical point they make very early in the book, one that often gets overlooked in the pursuit of wealth, is about money and happiness.
Yes, the age-old question.
While money itself in isolation may not directly buy happiness, financial security does eliminate a staggering 67% of life's major problems.
67%, that's specific.
It is. Think about the stress of unpaid bills, job insecurity, or unexpected expenses. Removing those is a huge burden lifted. Money provides genuine choices.
Choices, yeah. Freedom.
And with those choices, the ability to nurture meaningful relationships, pursue passions, and contribute to the world can become even more profound and impactful. In this context, money, when viewed through the lens of choice and contribution, truly gives life more meaning. It allows you to live a life by design rather than by default.
Okay, that's a powerful foundation. So now that we've established the premise, let's explore your own current financial position within what the authors call the wealth pyramid.
Right.
They suggest that everyone currently stands at one of four distinct levels, and crucially, understanding where you are is the absolutely essential first step to intentionally deciding where you want to be.
Absolutely. At the very base of this pyramid, we find level 0, financial casualties and survivors. These individuals are characterized by consistently spending beyond their means, often accumulating high levels of debt through credit cards, personal loans, and other financial products.
Living paycheck to paycheck, or worse.
Or worse. They frequently externalize their financial woes, blaming others, the government, their boss, the economy, and are often in deep financial denial. about their true situation.
A blame game.
It's a critical point that for people at this level, simply earning more money doesn't solve their problems. It often just gives them more to spend and accumulate more debt. Casualties, specifically, are deeper in debt, while survivors might just break even each month, perpetually stuck on that financial treadmill.
Just treading water.
Stress and relationship problems are endemic at this level because of the constant spending and borrowing, fueled by the illusion that someday they'll pay it all off. The authors emphasize that their fundamental problem lies in their money habits, not necessarily in their income level.
It's such a powerful observation because you often see high-income earners in this category.
Definitely. Doctors, lawyers.
They might outwardly look wealthy, driving expensive cars, living in large homes, but they're secretly drowning in huge loans and debt. They find themselves constantly arguing with their spouses about money, justifying impulsive purchases, and trapped in a cycle of financial denial.
The book stresses that the fundamental key to escaping level 0 is a radical shift in mindset, a commitment to financial education, and a deep, unwavering embrace of personal financial responsibility. You have to own it.
Okay, so moving up from level 0, what's next?
Moving up the pyramid, we reach level 1, financial stability. This is a foundational yet critically important step. You achieve this level when you have successfully accumulated enough liquid assets that means easily accessible cash in a savings account or an offset account to cover a minimum of 6 months of your current living expenses.
6 months buffer. That sounds like peace of mind.
It is. Crucially, you also have robust private medical and life insurance policies in place to protect your lifestyle and your loved ones in the event of unexpected illness, disability, or death. Reaching this level brings a profound sense of peace of mind, alleviating a significant portion of daily financial stress.
Okay. But you're still working for your money at this stage, right?
Pretty much. The authors note that at this stage, your cash flow is still predominantly controlled by others, your employer, your clients. It's at level 1 that the authors introduce the concept of strategically beginning to build your cash machine through wise and deliberate investment.
Building the cash machine. I like that. And that's where the journey truly begins for your money to start working for you. Next, we have level 2, financial security.
Right. You achieve this when your passive income, that's income you earn without actively exchanging your time, for it's sufficient to cover all of your most basic, essential expenses.
Like mortgage, utilities, food, the essentials.
Exactly. This includes your mortgage or rent, utilities, property taxes, car expenses, groceries, and insurance premiums. At this point, theoretically, you could choose to stop actively working and still maintain a simple, basic lifestyle without depleting your capital.
That sounds pretty good. Stop working.
Well, theoretically. The common pitfall here, however, is that many investors get stuck at this level by focusing almost exclusively on maximizing cash flow rather than prioritizing underlying asset growth.
Cash flow versus asset growth. That's a key distinction.
It's huge. While cash flow is essential for day-to-day living and getting through life, it is robust asset growth that truly liberates you from the rat race in the long run. Cash flow pays the bills, assets build wealth.
Got it. So level 2 is security, but not necessarily freedom. What's level 3?
Precisely. Ascending further, we reach level 3, financial freedom. This is the level where your passive income not only covers your basic expenses, but is robust enough to fully support your desired lifestyle, meaning you no longer need to work.
Okay, that's the dream for many people. Desired lifestyle funded passively.
At this point, you've built a substantial, diversified asset base. Perhaps a portfolio of investment properties, a significant share portfolio, or successful businesses that operate independently of your daily involvement. These assets are now consistently generating the income necessary to fund the life you genuinely want to live, on your own terms.
So what's the focus then, if you don't need to work?
The focus here shifts from aggressive accumulation to stabilizing your existing income streams, optimizing your estate planning for long-term legacy, and significantly expanding your philanthropic contributions to the world. It's not about retirement in the traditional sense. It's about regeneration, personal growth, and meaningful contribution.
Regeneration and contribution. I like that framing better than just retirement. And finally, at the very pinnacle of the pyramid, we find level 4, financial abundance.
The peak. This exclusive level is attained by a small group of individuals whose cash machine of investments operates in overdue. They possess so much surplus income, far beyond what's needed to cover their desired lifestyle and their significant philanthropic contributions.
So much that they can't even spend it all.
Essentially, Their asset base just continues to grow and compound, seemingly on its own, year after year. It's a truly powerful position where wealth generation becomes almost self-sustaining.
Wow. Levels 0 through 4. Survivor to abundance.
What's absolutely crucial to grasp about this wealth pyramid is the underlying principle. Your current and future level of wealth is fundamentally your choice.
So it's a choice, really.
Yes, but it demands profound personal development. The authors offer a stark caution. If you happen to receive a windfall, be it an inheritance, a lottery win, or an unexpected bonus, and your financial assets grow beyond your level of personal development and mindset.
Like winning the lottery you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Statistics strongly suggest you will lose it, often within a few short years. This is because your financial thermostat, an unconscious setting rooted in your upbringing and early experiences, will subtly but powerfully pull you back down to the wealth level you are psychologically programmed for.
The financial thermostat pulls you back down.
It's about who you are on the inside, not just what you have on the outside. Your internal setting needs to match your external wealth. Otherwise, the system corrects itself, often downwards.
That concept of the financial thermostat is incredibly insightful for understanding why our habits are so crucial. It's an invisible force that dictates your financial ceiling.
Exactly.
Let's delve into that further with what Michael Yardney calls the wealth quadrant. This framework offers a different lens through which to understand how people generate income and, more importantly, how they build or fail to build assets.
Yes, the wealth quadrant really clarifies the relationship between a person's income and their asset base. There are 4 distinct quadrants. At the bottom, in the least desirable position, is quadrant 4. Individuals with no assets and poor cash flow.
Basically level 0 again?
Pretty much. These are often the people caught in cycles of bad debt, struggling endlessly to make ends meet, essentially mirroring level 0 on the wealth pyramid. They are perpetually reactive to their financial situation.
Then we have quadrant 1. These are people who earn a good, sometimes even excellent income, but possess no appreciating assets.
The high-income spenders.
They might live a seemingly luxurious lifestyle, driving expensive cars, living in large, fashionable homes, creating an illusion of wealth. But their entire existence is precariously dependent on their job.
Golden handcuffs.
If that income stream were to disappear, they would find themselves in significant trouble because they haven't effectively converted their labor income into wealth-generating assets. They look rich, but they are financially fragile.
The ideal position, according to the authors, is quadrant 2, where you possess a substantial asset base that consistently generates passive cash flow.
Assets generating income, that's the goal.
This is the quadrant that truly provides time freedom because your money is actively working for you rather than you constantly working for money. This brings us to a fundamental distinction: the difference between linear income and passive recurring income.
Okay, explain that difference.
Linear income is what most people earn from a traditional job. You are paid once for every hour you work. If you stop showing up, the income stops. Simple as that.
Time for money, the typical trade.
But with passive or recurring income, you put in the hard work once, often up front, and then you get paid repeatedly for that same effort, whether you're actively working or not.
Like writing a book or building a rental property.
Exactly. Think of it as a well-chosen investment property generating rent, or a scalable business with systems in place. This is a primary reason why the rich tend to get richer. They strategically deploy their capital to acquire more assets, and those assets then passively generate even more income, creating a powerful compounding effect.
So the core message that permeates the book is this: it is incredibly challenging, almost impossible for most, to get truly rich from wages alone.
Very difficult. The vast majority of self-made millionaires are either investors or business owners, and their relentless focus is on asset growth, not merely maximizing their linear income.
Focus on assets, not just income.
Income, they emphasize, helps you navigate life's daily expenses. But it is the strategic acquisition and growth of assets that truly liberates you from the unending rat race. Many people mistakenly invest solely for cash flow, which, while helpful, often keeps them stuck at level 2 on the wealth pyramid.
Right, financial security.
Preventing them from building the robust, appreciating asset base necessary for true financial freedom. Level 3.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Now let's circle back to that financial thermostat, because it really is a profound concept that underpins so much of our financial reality.
Really does. The authors argue that your personal financial thermostat is subconsciously set based on your childhood experiences and the pervasive influences of those around you, your parents, teachers, extended family, and early peers.
And often those people weren't wealthy.
And here's the kicker. For most people, these formative influences were themselves not wealthy. So almost without your conscious awareness, your current level of wealth and your capacity to retain it is often a direct reflection of this invisible unconscious setting.
So we inherit these settings almost.
In a way, yes. It's those subtle, often well-meaning, but ultimately limiting beliefs that get hardwired into our subconscious. Phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, or even, money won't make you happy.
Heard those before.
These are the unintentional programs downloaded into your mind by adults who are perhaps your primary wealth educators, but who themselves often operated from a scarcity mindset.
The book beautifully illustrates this with the concept that perception is projection. Your experience in the world, particularly your financial reality, is a direct reflection of your inner consciousness, constantly filtered by your existing beliefs.
Like wearing tinted glasses.
It's like wearing a pair of old, dusty tinted glasses your entire life. You get so accustomed to them, you forget they're even there. And consequently, you begin to believe that the distorted, tinted view you have of the world is how things really are, rather than just how you're perceiving them through your personal filters.
And this is where your reticular activating system, or RAS, comes into play. A small but incredibly powerful part of your brain.
The RAS, what's that?
Think of the RAS as your brain's ultimate filter, a sophisticated bouncer at the club of your consciousness. Your brain is constantly bombarded with millions of bits of information every single second. But your RAS is the gatekeeper. It decides what you actually notice and what gets filtered out.
So it filters reality for us.
What's truly fascinating is that it actively seeks out data and experiences that validate your existing beliefs. So if, deep down, your financial thermostat is set for struggle, your RAS will help you see every obstacle, every reason why you can't be wealthy, effectively filtering out opportunities.
Confirmation bias on steroids?
Pretty much. But if you truly believe you can achieve financial abundance, your RAS will begin to highlight opportunities, information, and resources that align with that belief, almost like a guided missile.
It's essentially a super-powered search engine for your mind. You feed it instructions, your beliefs, your deep-seated convictions, and it sifts through all the incoming data to find matches, to prove you right.
Exactly. But here's the essential caveat from the book, a critical distinction. You can't just think and grow rich by wishing alone.
Right, mindset isn't magic.
Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings inspire actions, and it's those actions that ultimately lead to tangible results. The authors emphasize this cycle because a staggering 40% of all your daily activities are simply habits.
40%, that's almost half our day on autopilot.
Meaning nearly half of your waking life is spent on autopilot. If those autopilot habits are predominantly poor ones, your results will predictably follow suit.
So the autopilot needs reprogramming.
The incredibly good news, and perhaps the most empowering takeaway, is that your RAS is completely programmable. You absolutely can reprogram it and, by extension, transform your beliefs and habits.
Okay, how?
This isn't a passive process, though. It requires active, conscious effort. You must first acknowledge and identify your limiting beliefs, then consciously and persistently change your inner dialogue, and finally truly believe deep in your core that you are the architect of your own destiny, not merely a passenger beholden to circumstances.
Believe you're in control.
Your tomorrow, fundamentally, is directly determined by the decisions and actions you choose to take today.
So with that profound understanding of mindset and underlying mechanisms, let's transition into the practical application. The authors dedicate a significant portion of their book to outlining what they call the 30 rich habits.
The actionable stuff.
These aren't just random actions. They are unconscious behaviors, thought patterns, choices, and even emotional responses that are formed through repetitive neural connections in our brains.
Right, the brain wiring.
It's fascinating how many of these habits are actually established by the tender age of 9, often through simply mimicking our parents and other primary caregivers via what scientists call mirror neurons.
Wow. By age 9.
So a lot of what we do on autopilot as adults is actually deeply rooted in those very early influences.
And they introduce a powerful concept called keystone habits. These are incredibly impactful because a keystone habit, when adopted, doesn't just change one thing, it automatically eliminates or grammatically reduces multiple ordinary habits.
One habit triggers others, like a domino effect.
Exactly. Think about it. If you decide to make daily running a keystone habit, you'll often find yourself naturally cutting back on junk food, overeating, or even smoking without having to consciously fight those urges. It creates a cascade of positive changes.
That's efficient.
Many of the key rich habits they highlight are, in fact, designed to be these transformative keystone habits, making the process of habit change far more efficient and sustainable.
Okay, let's truly deep dive into some of these crucial rich habits, exploring the insights they offer beyond just the obvious.
Let's do it.
One of the foundational insights, almost a meta habit, is Rich Habit 1. Adopt good daily habits, starting with honest self-assessment. The authors emphasize that you have to become acutely aware of your current habits, both the good ones and, more importantly, the poor ones.
You got to know where you are first.
Then, the transformative step. You literally need to invert your poor habits to create new positive ones. The real power here lies in the compound interest of habits.
Like compound interest for money.
Just like compound interest in finance, small, consistent daily actions, diligently applied, don't just add up, they multiply, leading to massive, often exponential results over time. It's the consistent, almost invisible shifts that accumulate into profound change.
Then there's the critical practice of Rich Habit 2. Define dreams and create goals. This habit isn't just about wishing.
Dream versus goal, what's the difference they make?
The authors make a crucial distinction. A dream is your grand vision, what you truly desire, like, I want to accumulate $50,000 to travel. A goal, however, is the concrete, actionable plan with precise steps to achieve that dream, for instance. I'll save $1,000 a month for 50 months, starting next Tuesday.
So the goal needs action steps.
They stress that goals must involve physical activity, tangible steps you can take, and they must feel 100% achievable in your mind. This is where many people fall into the trap of bright, shiny object syndrome.
Oh yeah, chasing the next new thing.
Jumping from one new venture or idea to another, never achieving mastery or building momentum, precisely because they lack the focused, persistent goal setting that funnels energy into a single, achievable outcome.
This next one, Rich Habit 3. Devote at least 30 minutes each day to increasing your knowledge and improving your skills is about constant personal investment.
Lifelong learning.
It's about cultivating the mindset of a voracious, lifelong learner. Successful people, they found, are perpetually reading, constantly asking insightful questions, and diligently practicing their craft.
They never stop learning.
The authors state unequivocally that knowledge and continuous learning are not just beneficial, they are the absolute foundation and springboard for success. It's not about what you learned in school, it's about what you learn every single day after.
And remember Michael Yardney's insight. You can often learn more from someone who went bankrupt.
Right. Learn from mistakes, not just genius. By understanding the common mistakes, you build a robust defense against financial pitfalls, which is often more effective than simply chasing the next big opportunity.
Tied intrinsically to mental acuity and long-term financial resilience is Rich Habit 4. Devote 30 minutes to exercise and healthy eating every day.
The physical side. How does that connect directly to wealth?
This isn't just about physical health. It has direct, profound impacts on your cognitive function and overall productivity. When you exercise, you don't just oxygenate your muscles, you flood your brain with oxygen.
More oxygen to the brain, okay.
Stimulating the growth of neural connections and boosting the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDFN. Think of BDFN as miracle grow for your brain cells.
Miracle grow for the brain.
Making you sharper, more resilient, and better equipped to make complex financial decisions. Exercise also significantly reduces stress by lowering cortisol levels, bolsters your immune system, increases red blood cell count for more energy, and even activates telomerase, which helps extend cell life.
So, better thinking, less stress, more energy, all good for making money.
Exactly. Unsuccessful people, in stark contrast, often approach health with sporadic, reactive habits, constantly seeking quick fixes rather than embracing consistent compounding benefits. This habit directly translates to sustained mental energy and clarity, which are invaluable assets in any financial pursuit.
And speaking of assets, one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, is your social capital. That brings us to Rich Habit 5. Build strong relationships.
Your network is your net worth, as they say.
The authors draw a clear line between rich relationships and toxic relationships. Rich relationships are those with individuals who are optimistic, genuinely grateful, consistently supportive, and committed to lifelong learning. These are the people who lift you up.
Avoid the energy vampires.
Toxic relationships, on the other hand, are with gossips, critics, backstabbers, financial train wrecks, lazy types, addicted individuals, and perennial victims. The profound insight here is association accountability. Association accountability.
You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you genuinely want to adopt positive financial habits, actively surrounding yourself with people who already embody those habits or are striving for them creates a powerful, often subconscious, peer pressure that propels you forward.
So choose your friends wisely.
It's almost impossible to cultivate wealth habits if your closest circle constantly reinforces poverty habits.
This naturally leads to rich habit 6. Live in moderation, keeping things balanced.
Successful individuals, the research shows, are masters of avoiding excesses in every area of their lives, whether it's their work hours, food consumption, alcohol intake, screen time, or emotional responses. They maintain an even keel, demonstrating a consistent, measured approach.
No extremes.
The book contains a striking quote. Spending money to show people how much money you have is the surest way to have less money.
Ouch. That hits home for some people. Stealth wealth versus flashy spending.
True wealth, they explain, isn't about conspicuous consumption. It's about accumulating unseen assets like liquid cash, strategic stock investments, and income-generating real estate. These assets don't just sit there. They buy you genuine freedom, security, and a wider range of choices, far more valuable than any fleeting material possession.
A cornerstone habit that combats one of humanity's oldest enemies is rich habit 7. Take action. Avoid procrastination.
The killer of dreams.
Procrastination, the authors argue, often stems from a lack of genuine passion for what you're doing. And it's a stealthy killer of happiness because it generates a persistent low-level stress that only dissipates through action.
You just feel bad when you put things off.
Successful individuals cultivate a powerful do-it-now mindset. They employ practical tools to overcome inertia. Positive self-talk, the 10-minute rule.
Just start for 10 minutes. I like that one.
Collaborating with accountability partners and using do-it-now affirmations. They understand that breaking down overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable steps is the key to consistent forward momentum.
For long-term resilience and effective decision-making, consider rich habit 8. Engage in positive thinking. Is this just about being optimistic?
It's more active than that. This isn't just about wishful thinking. It's an active daily discipline. Successful people consciously control their thoughts, immediately displacing negative ones with positive, constructive alternatives.
Actively managing your thoughts.
They actively use visualization to impress their goals on their subconscious and rigorously minimize their exposure to negative media, which constantly bombards us with fear, anxiety, and scarcity narratives.
Yeah, turn off the news sometimes.
The authors present gratitude as the gateway to optimism. By consistently expressing thanks for what you already have, you actively reprogram your brain, shifting its focus from perceived lack to abundant blessings, which then allows you to perceive solutions and opportunities instead of just problems.
Gratitude changes your focus.
Okay,
This next habit is perhaps one of the most fundamental financial principles, yet it's often the hardest for people to consistently apply. Rich habit 9. Pay yourself first.
the golden rule of personal finance, right?
Absolutely. This means that before you pay any bills, before rent, before utilities, for loan repayments, you commit to setting aside a minimum of 10% of every dollar you earn directly into a savings or investment account.
10% off the top, no matter what.
This discipline forces you to live below your means, creating a surplus that can then be strategically invested. The formula is elegantly simple. Spend less than you earn, save the difference, and then invest that difference wisely.
Simple, but not easy.
The unfortunate reality for most people, however, is that they spend their money living and save what's left, which, predictably, is almost always nothing. Michael Yardney tells a revealing story about a doctor friend earning over $300,000 annually, but still being perpetually broke.
Making $300 in broke? How?
Because he never internalized or consistently applied this one cornerstone habit. His income was high, but his wealth was zero because he constantly spent everything he earned, and then some. Didn't pay himself first.
Wow. That's a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Okay, another crucial skill for effective leadership and strong relationships is rich habit 10. Control words and emotions.
Think before you speak or react.
This habit teaches that not every thought that pops into your head needs to be spoken, and not every emotion you feel needs to be immediately expressed or acted upon. Successful people demonstrate a remarkable mastery over their words and emotional responses,
Emotional intelligence.
deeply understanding the profound, lasting impact they have on their relationships, their reputation, and their own mental well-being. They respond thoughtfully, with intention, rather than reactively, avoiding the damaging ready, fire, aim, pour habit that often leads to shattered connections and poor financial decisions.
Yeah, reacting emotionally in finance is usually bad news. They understand that cultivating positive emotional states through productive activities is far more valuable than sinking into destructive cycles of negativity.
A habit that fuels resilience and longevity in any career is Rich Habit 11. Do work you love, finding your passion.
The truly rich, the authors found, discover ways to passionately monetize their innate talents and interests. For them, work is play.
If you love what you do,
This deep-seated passion isn't just a feel-good sentiment. It generates immense persistence, unlocks creativity, and provides the intrinsic motivation to power through inevitable mistakes and setbacks. The authors go so far as to state that passion trumps education, work ethic, intelligence, working capital, skills,
well, trumps all that.
and, profoundly, makes you unfireable as an expert in your chosen field. It becomes the foundational catalyst for all sustained success.
Which naturally brings us to Rich Habit 12, never quit on my dreams. Persistence.
Persistence, they emphasize, is the undeniable key to achieving any significant goal. Successful people pursue their dreams relentlessly until they either succeed, become physically incapacitated, or pass away.
They just don't stop.
They view mistakes not as failures, but as invaluable learning experiences. They possess the resilience to pick themselves up after setbacks, the mental fortitude to not let rejection derail them, the discipline to avoid distractions, and the courage to take action even in the face of fear and doubt.
Takes grit.
They understand, fundamentally, that true success takes time, and that patience is not just a virtue, but a critical companion to persistence on the long road to wealth.
Perhaps one of the most transformative habits is Rich Habit 13. Embrace positive beliefs, eliminate negative beliefs, back to the mindset.
Our beliefs, which the authors describe as emotionalized thought programming deeply embedded in our old brain, are the invisible architects of our reality. They either create paths to wealth or reinforce cycles of poverty.
So identify and change those limiting beliefs.
The book highlights common limiting beliefs like, poor people can't become rich, I'm not smart enough, or money is the root of all evil. To reprogram these, they suggest powerful tools such as writing a 5-year letter that vividly scripts your ideal future.
Scripting your future self.
Maintaining a success log to consciously record accomplishments and combat negative self-talk. And engaging in daily meditation to visualize and internalize your desired outcomes. It's about actively constructing a belief system that supports your highest aspirations.
And this next one offers a significant shortcut on your journey. Rich Habit 14. Seek success mentors.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Mentors are truly described as the fast track to becoming wealthy. Why? Because they offer invaluable lessons gleaned from their own mistakes, allowing you to bypass the costly and time-consuming school of hard knocks.
Avoid the pain they went through.
With all its financial and emotional roller coasters. A mentor's hindsight can literally become your foresight. They impart critical knowledge, share hard-won experience, help you identify your own blind spots, provide essential accountability, and crucially, help you filter out the vast amount of bad advice that exists.
Find someone who's actually done it.
The authors lament that, unfortunately, those who struggle financially often take counsel from individuals who haven't personally done it, relying instead on theory or armchair philosophy. Big mistake.
A vital practice for productivity and progress is Rich Habit 15. Focus on dreams and goals every day, staying on track.
Successful individuals intuitively grasp the importance of creating dedicated blocks of uninterrupted time to work on the most important tasks directly related to their long-term goals. No distractions.
How do they achieve that focus?
The authors differentiate between forced focus, which relies on a limited supply of willpower and can be draining, and unforced focus, which is fueled by genuine passion and emotional connection to the task.
Passion fuels focus. Makes sense.
This latter type of focus allows for intense concentration for hours on end, leading to a profound flow state where learning and productivity accelerate exponentially.
And it's not just any goals that lead to wealth. It's about Rich Habit 16. Set good goals, avoid bad goals. What constitutes a good goal?
Good goals, they explain, are those that create long-term benefits and lead to sustainable happiness and personal growth. Examples include striving to become a recognized expert in your field, launching a profitable side business, dramatically improving your communication skills, or writing a book.
Things that build you up or build assets.
Bad goals, conversely, yield only fleeting short-term happiness or are purely based on chance, such as hoping to win the lottery or buying an expensive depreciating car just for status. The happiness derived from accumulating stuff, they emphasize, is usually short-lived and doesn't contribute to true financial freedom.
This next habit is absolutely vital for anyone seeking growth and opportunity. Rich habit 17. Don't fear risk, take calculated risks.
Risk is necessary, but it has to be smart risk. Successful people are not risk-averse. In fact, they understand that taking intelligent risks is an indispensable component of significant success. However, they don't gamble.
Calculated versus uncalculated.
Instead, they engage in calculated risks, which involve thorough analysis, meticulously identifying every potential failure scenario, and diligently preparing robust contingency plans for all of them. This is fundamentally different from uncalculated risk, like gambling, which involves no forethought or analysis.
Plan for the worst, aim for the best.
They are prepared for the worst, but relentlessly work towards the best.
Building on that and acknowledging the true nature of wealth accumulation is rich habit 18. Exercise patience. This one's tough in our instant gratification world.
So true. True success, the authors remind us, is rarely an overnight phenomenon. It takes considerable time, and the journey is rarely linear. It's filled with inevitable ups and downs, setbacks, and periods of slow progress.
The overnight success that took 10 years.
Exactly. Patience is a powerful ally because it allows you to consistently gain knowledge and hone your skills. It buys you the crucial time needed to pivot your strategy when necessary, and it creates what they call opportunity luck.
Opportunity luck.
Yeah, being patient puts you in the right place at the right time more often. They offer Colonel Sanders as a powerful example, who didn't achieve widespread success with KFC until he was in his mid-60s.
Mid-60s, wow.
A testament to unwavering persistence combined with profound patience.
For anyone in a client-facing role, or indeed anyone who collaborates with others, this next one is pure gold. Rich habit 19. Exceed expectations.
Underpromise and overdeliver. Successful people, they found, instinctively do this. They are masters at managing expectations right from the very beginning of any project, interaction, or initiative.
Set the bar realistically, then jump over it.
This strategic approach sets them up perfectly to consistently wow others by delivering more than what was initially anticipated. Unsuccessful people, conversely, often fall into the trap of trying to wow up front by making inflated promises, only to fail to meet those unrealistic expectations.
Which leads to disappointment.
Which invariably leads to disappointment and a breakdown of trust.
A practical and essential safeguard for long-term financial health and resilience is rich habit 20. Create multiple streams of income.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Successful people almost universally understand the precariousness of relying on a single income source. They intentionally build several poles and many ponds, diversifying their income through various avenues.
Like what kind of avenues?
Such as side businesses, investment property rentals, strategic stock market investments, royalties from creative work or other ventures. The critical distinction here is their focus on creating passive or recurring income.
There's that passive income again.
Money that continues to flow into your life whether you're actively working or not, rather than simply taking on another linear time-for-money job.
Okay, now a powerful multiplier for all your efforts. Rich habit 21. Use the power of leverage. How do they define leverage?
The book brilliantly identifies 4 key types of leverage that the wealthy consistently employ. First, money leverage. Wisely using debt, other people's money, to acquire appreciating assets that generate returns.
Using debt strategically, not just for consumption.
Second, network leverage. Strategically cultivating and leveraging relationships for access to opportunities, invaluable advice, and capital. Third, experience leverage. Learning not only from your own experiences, but crucially, from the experiences and mistakes of others to dramatically accelerate your own progress.
Learning from others' hindsight.
And fourth, time leverage. Consciously outsourcing mundane, lower-value tasks to free up your precious time for higher-value, wealth-generating activities. As they famously state, millionaires don't clean their own homes or run their own errands.
Because their time is worth more doing other things?
Because their time is simply too valuable for activities that don't directly contribute to their core financial mission. It's about maximizing your hourly value.
Then there's rich habit 22. Don't let fear and doubt prevent action. Easier said than done sometimes. How do they suggest overcoming fear?
Successful individuals have developed potent strategies to overcome the paralyzing grip of fear. They advocate playing the what-if game. Instead of fixating on the negative "what if I fail," they consciously pivot to empowering questions like, what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams? What if I absolutely love doing this? What if I make more money than I ever expected?
Flip the what if from negative to positive. I like that.
This subtle but powerful shift in questioning allows them to reframe potential outcomes, empowering them to take decisive action despite your fears.
For continuous self-improvement and avoiding costly mistakes, Rich Habit 23. Seek feedback. Be open to criticism.
Constructive feedback, yes. This is a non-negotiable trait among successful people. They proactively solicit constructive feedback from a wide range of sources: colleagues, supervisors, employees, and clients.
Ask people how you're doing.
They understand that seeking feedback is a far less costly and more efficient way to learn and improve than waiting to learn through the painful, expensive, and time-consuming school of hard knocks, which involves making mistakes yourself.
Learn cheaper and faster through feedback. Makes sense. A straightforward yet often overlooked habit is Rich Habit 24. Ask for what you want or need.
Just ask. Successful people intuitively understand that significant achievement rarely happens in isolation. It requires partnerships, collaborations, and the support of others.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
They cultivate the habit of asking for help, for opportunities, for resources, and for what they want without the fear of rejection. They condition themselves to expect a no, so they're never disappointed, but they are consistently delighted by a yes.
Assume no, be happy with yes.
This act of asking, the authors suggest, creates a subtle but powerful obligation, which they view not as a burden, but as the foundation for forging valuable reciprocal partnerships.
This next one offers a unique, almost counterintuitive twist on productivity. Rich Habit 25. Make a personalized to-don't list. A to-don't list.
Yep. Just as important as knowing precisely what to do, knowing what not to do is absolutely crucial for focused progress. Michael Yardney, a master of efficiency, shares some of his personal to-don'ts.
Oh, like what?
Don't worry. Don't always be right. Don't judge other people. Don't try to be perfect. Don't brood over your mistakes. And don't ignore your friends and loved ones.
Those are really insightful things to actively avoid.
He even quips that he's probably made more money in his career by strategically saying no to things than by saying yes to every perceived opportunity. The power of elimination can be immense.
Saying no can be profitable. Okay, shifting to personal well-being, which is often the silent engine of sustained financial success, we have Rich Habit 28. Be happy. Is happiness a habit?
They argue it is. Successful individuals don't wait for happiness to find them. They actively make happiness a daily habit. They consciously invest in activities that are proven to produce long-term happiness.
Like what kind of activities?
Volunteering, engaging in regular exercise, committing to continuous learning, practicing meditation and mindfulness, cultivating a deep sense of gratitude, pursuing creative outlets, working towards a major life purpose, and crucially, associating consistently with other happy, optimistic, and growth-oriented people.
So happiness isn't just a result, it's an input.
Happiness, they argue, is not a byproduct of success. It's a choice and a cultivated habit that precedes and fuels success.
Then a powerful principle that defines true contribution. Rich Habit 29. Add value to others.
The ultimate goal. The authors assert that the ultimate true goal of wealth isn't merely personal accumulation. It's profound contribution. Your inherent value in the marketplace, and indeed in life, is directly determined by how much you consistently do for others.
Focus on giving, not just getting.
Successful people intrinsically understand this reciprocal relationship. They prioritize contribution over mere consumption, recognizing that genuinely helping others, solving their problems, and adding value to their lives is not only fulfilling, but is also the most direct and sustainable pathway to their own enduring prosperity.
And finally, rounding out this deep dive into specific habits is Rich Habit 30. Seek to find apostles. Apostles. Like followers.
Not exactly religious followers. This study revealed that self-made millionaires rarely achieve their incredible success in isolation. Apostles, in this context, are highly committed, single-minded team members who deeply share your vision and are willing to pull the same cart alongside you.
So a deeply committed core team.
This isn't just about hiring employees. It's about building a dedicated, loyal team of individuals whether they are staff, partners, or even key contractors who are passionately devoted to helping you achieve your major dream or business objective. The authors unequivocally state that no one truly reaches the pinnacle of wealth entirely on their own.
You need your apostles. Okay, wow, that's a lot of powerful habits.
It really is.
So those are just some of the incredibly insightful, rich habits identified in the book. But beyond the habits themselves, the authors uncover something else quite fascinating. There isn't just a single monolithic path to wealth.
Right, different strokes for different folks. Instead, they identify 4 distinct paths, and understanding which one genuinely aligns with your personality, your innate predispositions, and even your upbringing can make all the difference in choosing the most effective route for your own journey.
Okay, what are these 4 paths?
That's a crucial distinction. The first is path #1, the saver investor path. These millionaires cultivated the habit of consistently saving a substantial portion, 20% or more of their net income, and diligently living on the remainder.
Save a lot, invest consistently, the slow and steady path.
They then prudently invested that saved money over many years, allowing the power of compounding to work its magic. This path demands a steady middle-class income, an incredibly high degree of discipline, unwavering consistency, and an abundance of patience.
Who fits this path?
Their personality traits often include being highly risk-averse, preferring a strong work-life balance, often deriving happiness from relationships and experiences rather than material possessions, being naturally disciplined and frugal, and maintaining a modest standard of living. This path is a marathon, not a sprint, relying on quiet consistency.
Okay, path 1, saver investor. What's path 2?
Then there's path #2, the big company climber path. These individuals dedicate their careers to working for large corporations and strategically climb the corporate ladder, often reaching senior executive status.
Climbing the corporate ladder to the top.
Their wealth accumulation frequently comes from substantial stock compensation packages, performance bonuses, or profit-sharing agreements. This path demands not only a formal education, but also a fervent commitment to continuous self-education, significant political savvy within large organizations,
Gotta play the game.
and an exceptionally strong work ethic, often prioritizing their career above significant personal time with family and friends. They must possess high stress and risk tolerance, and crucially, excellent communication and presentation skills.
What's their key strategy?
A key strategy for them is to become unfireable within their industry by consistently engaging in daily self-education, writing thought leadership pieces or blogs, and speaking at trade groups and conferences to elevate their expertise and perceived value, making themselves indispensable.
Path 2, big company climber.
Path 3. The third distinct path is path #3, the virtuoso path. These are individuals who become the absolute top experts in their chosen field, whether it's knowledge-based, like a leading surgeon or a groundbreaking scientist, or skill-based, like a world-class athlete or musician.
The best of the best in their field.
They are compensated handsomely for their unparalleled expertise. Becoming a virtuoso demands an enormous investment of time and often financial resources in continuous, deliberate practice and study. We're talking thousands upon thousands of hours.
The 10,000-hour rule type of thing?
Exactly. They typically work incredibly long hours, not just perfecting their craft, but also actively applying and maintaining their elite status. Knowledge-based virtuosos often thrive as introverts with intense powers of concentration, while skill-based virtuosos often possess innate talent, refined by relentless training under stress.
Constantly honing their craft.
They continually reinforce their expertise through daily self-improvement, writing, and speaking, cementing their position at the very top.
Path 3, virtuoso. And the last one, path 4.
And finally, the path that actually showed the highest average net worth in Tom Corley's study, an impressive $7.4 million, but also comes with the most significant personal costs.
Yeah.
Path #4, the dreamer entrepreneur path.
The entrepreneur, highest reward, highest risk.
These individuals are driven by a burning vision and commit to building their own businesses from the ground up. This path notoriously requires incredibly long work hours, an average of 61 hours a week for 12 years in the study.
61 hours a week for 12 years.
Accompanied by immense financial stress, as they often put everything they own on the line, relying heavily on debt and personal guarantees. It also carries the highest risk, with 27% of them failing at least once, sometimes leading to personal bankruptcy or divorce.
That's a tough road. What defines them?
Their defining personality traits include a very high risk tolerance, an almost obsessive work ethic that prioritizes their venture, exceptional multitasking abilities, and immense creativity. They truly love what they do, which is the fuel that allows them to persist through incredible challenges and setbacks.
The passion keeps them going through the hardship.
What's truly fascinating about these four distinct paths is how they underscore that wealth accumulation is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. Different personality types are inherently better suited for different approaches.
Know thyself.
Leveraging their unique genetic predispositions, their temperaments, and their early upbringing. It's about a fundamental understanding of who you are and then aligning that self-awareness with a path that best amplifies your strengths and minimizes your weaknesses.
And central to success on any of these paths, and indeed to building and sustaining wealth, is the profound importance of models, mentors, and masterminds. Let's break those down. What are models?
First, models aren't just external examples. They are your own internal, often subconscious constructions that profoundly shape your reality and filter everything you perceive.
The internal blueprints.
By consciously learning from successful models, studying their biographies, analyzing their decisions, you can effectively start your own journey where they left off, leveraging their experiences and wisdom rather than making every single mistake yourself. It's like gaining decades of experience in a fraction of the time.
Okay, models are about learning from others' examples. Then there are mentors. We touched on this with the rich habits.
Yes, but it bears repeating. They are absolutely critical, especially as you aspire to achieve level 3 and 4 wealth on the wealth pyramid. As Isaac Newton famously stated, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants."
Mentors give you perspective.
A mentor's hindsight can become your foresight. They impart invaluable knowledge, share their hard-won experience, help you identify your own blind spots, provide essential accountability, and crucially, help you filter out the vast amount of misleading or bad advice that permeates the financial world.
Filter the noise.
The authors highlight a regrettable pattern. Those who consistently struggle financially often take counsel from individuals who haven't personally done it, relying instead on theoretical knowledge or general opinions, which proves to be an expensive mistake.
And finally, masterminds or teams. Why is a team so crucial?
The authors assert a powerful truth. No one does it on their own. Building a good, cohesive team significantly reduces your risk, exponentially increases your knowledge base, and provides crucial access to ideas, opportunities, and even funding that you would simply never have access to alone.
It's synergy.
This team isn't just about business partners. It includes essential financial professionals like accountants, wealth strategists, and brokers, but also what they term utility players.
Utility players, like in sports.
People you hire at a lower hourly rate to handle mundane tasks like cleaning your home, managing errands, or even administrative tasks. As we discussed, millionaires don't typically clean their own homes because their time is far too valuable for such activities. It's leverage.
Leverage again, freeing up your time.
Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded people, whether through formal mastermind groups or informal associations, creates a powerful, positive peer pressure that becomes an engine for transformative change. The group lifts you up.
This brings us to a crucial, almost generational principle that underpins everything discussed. What every parent should teach their children about getting rich, and why it matters to you.
Yes, the legacy aspect. The authors strongly contend that parents are unequivocally the most influential mentors children will ever have. Their research consistently revealed a stark, almost contagious pattern. Poor parents inadvertently transmit poverty habits to their children,
Like a virus.
while rich parents actively and intentionally transmit rich habits, almost like a genetic predisposition. It's passed down.
Tom Corley's study revealed some incredibly powerful yet simple lessons consistently taught by rich parents. What are some key ones?
For instance, they instilled in their children the belief that you create your life, meaning they are the architects of their own destiny, not victims of circumstance. They ingrained a deep sense of individual responsibility, not tolerating blame shifting.
Take ownership.
They taught profound respect for the law, understanding that societal rules are essential for opportunity. And critically, they encouraged their children to pursue your main purpose, exploring their innate talents and finding work they genuinely loved, transforming work into play,
Find your passion early.
which ultimately leads to not just personal fulfillment, but also immense financial success.
What else did rich parents teach?
They also actively taught their children to pursue dreams and goals, using dream setting as a tangible blueprint for their lives, not just vague aspirations. A profoundly important lesson was that pursuing wealth is a good thing.
Counteracting the money is evil idea.
Reframing the common misconception that wealthy people are inherently evil or greedy. Instead, They taught that the wealthy are often good, honest, and hardworking. They instilled a rigorous hard work ethic, requiring their children to work for what they wanted from an early age.
No entitlement.
And they emphasized daily self-improvement, often through requiring reading for at least 30 minutes a day, expanding their vocabulary, and critically, using their time productively, actively avoiding excessive TV, video games, or aimless social media consumption.
Value your time. Use it wisely. Conversely, the study regretfully identified common poverty habits frequently transmitted by poor parents. What did those look like?
Dependency on government handouts or external support, a defiance of the law, deep-seated resentment towards the rich, a poor or inconsistent work ethic, destructive habits like drug use or overeating, and a significant propensity to waste valuable time on unproductive activities like excessive reality TV.
Habits that keep people stuck.
These habits, sadly, perpetuate a generational cycle of poverty and stifle any true financial advancement.
Michael Yardney, drawing from his own life and extensive experience, distills his wisdom into 12 essential lessons every parent should teach their children, and these are equally valuable for you to remember and actively adopt. Give us a few highlights.
For instance, save sooner for compounding, truly understanding why Albert Einstein called it the most powerful force in the universe. He emphasizes to wait to buy what you want, a profound lesson in delayed gratification, and a stark warning. Today's debt equals tomorrow's slavery.
Debt as slavery. That's powerful. What else?
He also stresses the critical importance of take personal responsibility for your financial outcomes. And this next one is a foundational secret. The secret of the rich is assets that grow in value.
Assets again?
Your job, he clarifies, is your ability to earn an income, but it's not necessarily in and of itself a direct path to wealth. He asserts that luck is made through hard work, not just random chance, dispelling the myth of overnight success. And profoundly, financial freedom depends on your relationship with money, not just money itself.
Your money mindset matters as much as the money.
And two practical rules that make all the difference. Only use credit cards if you can pay the balance in full each month, avoiding the insidious trap of high-interest debt. He offers a timeless reminder. Your youth won't last forever, so use it wisely. Compounding relies on time.
Start early.
Emphasizing the immense power of starting early. And finally, perhaps the one golden rule that encompasses so much. Spend less than you earn and invest the rest.
The golden rule, if you do nothing else.
If you adhere to this above all else, you are almost inevitably on the path to financial freedom.
So we've taken a comprehensive deep dive into Rich Habits, Poor Habits by Tom Corley and Michael Yardney. It's abundantly clear that this isn't just another book about financial products or market trends.
No, it's much deeper than that.
Instead, it's a profound exploration into the invisible yet incredibly powerful impact of your mindset, your daily behaviors, and your deeply ingrained habits on your financial destiny. We've uncovered the subtle yet game-changing differences in how the truly rich think, how they act, and how they view the world around them.
And if we connect all these threads to the bigger picture, it ultimately boils down to one incredibly empowering truth. You, and only you, are truly in control of your own financial destiny.
You have the power.
It's not about being lucky or simply working harder for the sake of it. It's about making deliberate, conscious choices that reshape your internal programming and your external actions.
And the authors, recognizing the human tendency to overcomplicate things, provide a beautifully clear 4-step formula for intentionally developing these transformative rich habits.
What are the 4 steps?
First, develop awareness. You must genuinely identify your current habits, both the ones serving you and, crucially, the ones holding you back. Understand their long-term consequences.
And know thyself again, step 1.
Second, take responsibility. This is perhaps the hardest step for many. Acknowledge, without blame or self-pity, that your current financial situation is a direct result of your own choices, your own habits. It's not your boss's fault, or the government's, or even a lack of information. It's internal.
Own it, step 2. Third, take action. Once you have that awareness and responsibility, begin to implement those identified rich habits daily. Start small. Commit to consistency, even if it feels insignificant initially.
Do something. Step 3.
And finally, the most critical step for sustained progress. Practice persistence. Keep going, relentlessly, even when challenges inevitably arise, even when it feels like nothing is working, or when the results aren't immediately apparent.
Keep going. Step 4.
Because those seemingly small, consistent behaviors are, in fact, the precise blueprint for a truly transformed financial future.
Awareness, responsibility, action, persistence. So what does this all truly mean for you, the listener? The profound wealth you desire, whether it's financial freedom or simply peace of mind, isn't just about the money you accumulate.
No, bigger than that.
It's fundamentally about the person you become in the process of accumulating it. What would your life look like if you made the intentional commitment to becoming that person starting today by embracing just a few of these powerful, rich habits?